Many women believe that most men's connection ends when intimacy does. But for a man, especially in the second half of life, that's when the deepest emotional needs quietly begin to surface. It's not just about the act, it's about what happens after. Those quiet minutes, when words are few and hearts are open, can either build a bond that lasts or slowly erode what love once was. That's why, in this video, I'm revealing 5 things men secretly crave after intimacy, but almost never say out loud. Stick around, because once you understand these, he'll feel more emotionally drawn to you than ever before. Before we dive into the secrets, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more insights like this. Trust me, you'll want to keep these tips in your back pocket. Let's uncover what truly happens after intimacy and how it can strengthen the bond you share.
Number 1. The sacred space of wordless connection. After intimacy, one of the most powerful moments between a man and a woman is the silence that follows. It's a rare kind of connection, a sacred space where words aren't necessary. This is when the bond deepens, not through conversation, but through shared presence. There's something I observed during my marriage to Dorothy that took me years to fully understand. After our most intimate moments, I found myself craving something I couldn't name. It wasn't conversation, it wasn't sleep, it wasn't even continued physical touch. It was something more subtle, the simple gift of shared silence that felt sacred rather than empty. I remember one particular evening when Dorothy seemed to understand this instinctively. Instead of filling the quiet with words or immediately returning to practical concerns, she simply remained present with me in what I can only describe as mindful stillness. Her breathing was calm, her body relaxed, and I felt held by something larger than both of us. When a man's defenses are naturally lowered and his heart is open, he secretly craves what I call sacred space. Those precious minutes when nothing needs to be said, solved, or accomplished. It's a form of meditation for two, a shared sanctuary where the outside world dissolves. This need exists because intimacy opens what psychologists call the parasympathetic nervous system activation, the body's rest and connection response. During these moments, men experience heightened sensitivity and emotional receptivity. Dr. John Gottman's research shows that couples who can comfortably share silence after intimacy report significantly higher relationship satisfaction. This connection isn't about talking through the moment or trying to fill the silence with distractions. It's about being fully present with one another. This is when he feels safe, valued, and emotionally bonded. It is a space where vulnerability is met with acceptance, and love is felt without a single word being spoken. What most women don't realize is that these moments after intimacy are when a man feels closest to you. He's not thinking about what comes next or planning his next move. He's completely immersed in the connection you share, and the comfort of being with you in that silence creates a lasting emotional imprint. So allow those precious moments of wordless connection to exist without agenda. Your peaceful presence during this vulnerable time communicates acceptance and reverence for what you've just shared. But this sacred silence naturally flows into an even deeper need, one that touches the very core of masculine identity and worth.
Number 2. Gentle affirmation of worth beyond performance. Building on that foundation of sacred presence, there emerges a need that goes to the heart of masculine psychology. After intimacy, When a man's performance-oriented defenses are softened, he secretly craves gentle affirmation that his worth extends far beyond what he just accomplished. In my younger years, I was unknowingly trapped in what I now recognize as performance anxiety. Not just about physical intimacy, but about constantly proving my value through achievement. After intimate moments with Dorothy, I would sometimes feel a subtle emptiness, as if I needed to immediately demonstrate competence in some other area. Dorothy possessed an intuitive wisdom about this. Sometimes she would simply trace her finger along my arm and whisper something like, "I love being close to you," or "You make me feel so cherished." These weren't compliments about performance. They were affirmations of my essence, my ability to create emotional safety, my worth as a human being beyond any accomplishment. One of the most profound desires men have after intimacy is to feel appreciated for who they are, not just for their performance. It's easy to assume that after an intimate encounter, what matters most to a man is how well he performed in the moment. However, what many women don't realize is that what a man craves more than anything is a gentle affirmation of his worth beyond that performance. This affirmation isn't about complimenting his physicality or the act itself. It's about validating him as a person. It's recognizing his emotional presence, his effort, and his capacity to give himself to you in that vulnerable moment. This could be as simple as a soft, appreciative touch on his arm, a quiet thank you for the connection you've shared, or a heartfelt acknowledgement of the emotional depth he's shown in the experience. Dr. Brené Brown's research on shame reveals that men often carry deep-seated beliefs that their worth is contingent on performance and achievement. After intimacy, when these defenses are naturally lowered, there's an opportunity to speak to the deeper truth of their inherent value. The key is offering affirmations that aren't tied to performance. "I love how tender you are with me. You make me feel so loved," or simply, "I'm grateful for you." These statements communicate that his worth isn't contingent on what he does, but on who he is. Have you ever noticed how a simple affirmation can change the dynamic in a relationship? How does it make you feel when your worth is acknowledged beyond your performance? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. To make the connection even deeper, it's not just about affirming his worth. It's also about making him feel understood and safe. That's where the next secret comes in, which touches on the emotional security that forms the foundation of a lasting bond. Let's dive into it. Number 3. The gift of unhurried presence. Now we come to what I promised would be revolutionary, and it challenges everything our achievement-oriented culture teaches about time and productivity. After intimacy, men secretly crave what I call unhurried presence, the profound gift of time that doesn't demand to be filled with purpose or productivity. In a world that often rushes from one task to the next, the ability to be fully present in the moment with someone is a rare and deeply cherished gift. This quality becomes especially meaningful after intimacy. When a man offers his undivided attention, without distractions, without checking his phone, or rushing to the next thing, it speaks volumes about his emotional investment and respect for the connection you're sharing. The absence of hurry communicates trust. It tells the other person, "You matter to me, and this moment is worth all my attention." By staying present, you create an environment where emotional intimacy deepens, where there's no rush to move on from the experience, but rather to savor the connection and let it settle into your hearts. This reflects what the ancient Romans called otium, the concept of leisurely time devoted to reflection and connection, as opposed to negotium, business time. After intimacy, when a man's natural rhythm shifts from goal-oriented to being-oriented, he craves this slower, more contemplative pace. Dr. Sarah Payton's research on nervous system regulation shows that the post-intimacy period is crucial for what she calls co-regulation, the process by which two nervous systems synchronize and calm together. When this process is rushed or interrupted, it can create subtle feelings of disconnection or incompleteness. To tie everything together so far, sacred wordless connection lays the foundation, while gentle affirmation of worth provides the emotional safety needed. Unhurried presence then paves the way for deeper intimacy to unfold naturally. These three elements work in harmony to foster what psychologists refer to as secure attachment, especially during the most vulnerable moments. After intimacy, the key to deepening emotional connection lies in the gift of unhurried presence. It's essential to give him your full attention without any distractions, allowing the moment to linger without rushing. In a world obsessed with productivity, this act of being present shows that you value the connection for what it is, not for what it can accomplish. It's not about rushing to the next thing. It's about savoring the moment and letting the emotional bond settle naturally. Resist the urge to immediately return to productivity mode. Allow your natural rhythm to slow down. Be fully present without agenda. This unhurried presence becomes the foundation for our next need, which we'll explore right this.
Number 4. Emotional safety to express vulnerability. There's a paradox in masculine psychology that becomes most apparent after intimate moments. The very experience that makes men feel most vulnerable also creates the deepest longing to express that vulnerability safely. Yet this is precisely when societal conditioning tells men to return to strength, composure, and emotional control. I learned this through a conversation with my friend Edward, who shared something profound about his relationship with his wife Rose. "After we make love," he told me quietly, "sometimes I feel things I don't usually allow myself to feel during the day. Fear about getting older, sadness about friends we've lost, even uncertainty about the future. With Rose, I can actually express these feelings without being judged or having her try to fix everything." This illustrates what the psychologist Carl Jung called the shadow, the parts of ourselves we typically keep hidden. After intimacy, when psychological defenses are naturally lowered, these deeper emotions often surface. Men secretly crave permission to express this vulnerability without having their masculinity questioned or their concerns immediately solved. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths a person can have. It takes immense courage to show one's true feelings, fears, and insecurities. When a man feels safe enough to let down his guard, he is not only trusting you with his emotions, but also opening the door to a deeper level of intimacy. He's choosing to be real, to be seen, not just for the confident, capable persona he projects, but for who he really is, flaws and all.
This emotional safety is not something that just happens. It must be nurtured. By being emotionally present, listening without judgment, and validating his feelings, you create an environment where he can express his vulnerability freely. This trust is built over time and is reinforced when both partners feel secure in the relationship, knowing that their emotions will be met with compassion rather than criticism or dismissal. Dr. Sue Johnson's research on emotionally focused therapy reveals that the ability to be vulnerable after intimacy significantly strengthens emotional bonds. However, this vulnerability requires what she calls emotional safety, the assurance that authentic emotions will be met with acceptance rather than judgment or advice. The ancient Greek concept of philoxenia, love of the stranger, applies beautifully here. After intimacy, when unfamiliar emotions surface, men need you to love even the stranger within them, the scared parts, the uncertain parts, the tender parts that rarely see daylight. The key is responding to vulnerability with curiosity rather than correction, presence rather than problem solving. Simple responses like, "Tell me more about that," or "I can see why you'd feel that way," create the safety that allows deeper intimacy to flourish. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you witnessed or experienced these post-intimacy needs? Which of these insights resonated most with your own relationship experience? Your wisdom could help someone else recognize opportunities for deeper, intimate connection. While vulnerability strengthens the bond, understanding how both partners evolve together in harmony is equally important. Now we come to the next crucial aspect: how nurturing each other's growth enhances emotional connection. Let's get in how fostering shared development deepens intimacy and strengthens your relationship.
Number 5. The reassurance of continued desire. After the vulnerability of intimate connection, men secretly crave subtle reassurance that their partner's desire for them extends beyond the moment just shared. This isn't about ego or performance. It's about the deep human need to know we remain desirable to the person who knows us most intimately. In every lasting relationship, there comes a point when familiarity settles in, and the initial sparks of attraction can feel distant. But for men, one of the most powerful needs after intimacy is the reassurance of continued desire. This need is not about constant affirmation of physical attraction, but the deeper reassurance that they are still wanted, admired, and desired, emotionally, physically, and intellectually. This reflects what the ancient Greek philosopher Plato described in his concept of eros, love that includes both spiritual connection and continued physical attraction. After intimacy, when the immediate passion has calmed, men often wonder if their partner's desire was situational or ongoing. When a man feels that his partner continues to see him with admiration and attraction, it reinforces his sense of worth and emotional security. The subtle but powerful expression of continued desire communicates that the connection isn't just about what happened in the moment, but extends far beyond it. I experienced this profoundly in my marriage to Dorothy. She had a way of communicating continued desire that wasn't overwhelming or demanding, but rather gentle and reassuring. Sometimes she would trace patterns on my skin, or mention how attractive I looked in certain light, or simply express gratitude for physical closeness in ways that indicated it wasn't just a completed task, but an ongoing source of pleasure for her.
Dr. Eli Finkel's research on relationships shows that couples who maintain what he calls physical intimacy continuity, the sense that desire exists beyond specific intimate encounters, report higher relationship satisfaction and longevity. This continuity helps prevent the compartmentalization that can make intimacy feel disconnected from daily life. This need becomes especially important as we age. Mature men often grapple with concerns about physical changes, decreased energy, or shifting capabilities. Gentle reassurance that desire continues despite these natural changes provides profound emotional security. The wisdom here isn't about constant verbal affirmation, but rather subtle, authentic expressions of ongoing attraction. A loving glance, a gentle touch, a comment about something you find attractive. These small gestures communicate that intimacy wasn't just an event, but part of an ongoing desire to connect physically and emotionally.
As we conclude this exploration of masculine emotional needs, I'm reminded of what the poet Rainer Maria Rilke wrote. Perhaps all the dragons in our lives are princesses who are only waiting to see us act, just once, with beauty and courage. The hidden needs men experience after intimacy are not dragons to be conquered, but tender aspects of the human heart waiting to be acknowledged with beauty and courage. These 5 needs, the sacred space of wordless connection, gentle affirmation of worth beyond performance, the gift of unhurried presence, emotional safety to express vulnerability, and reassurance of continued desire, represent the deepest longings of the masculine heart in its most open state. They're not weaknesses to be overcome, but treasures to be honored. What makes understanding these needs so powerful is that meeting them doesn't require grand gestures or dramatic changes. They're met through presence, patience, gentleness, and the wisdom to recognize that the moments after physical intimacy are opportunities for even deeper emotional connection. For the women watching this, remember that meeting these needs isn't about losing yourself in service to someone else's emotional requirements. Rather, it's about recognizing that true intimacy is a dance of mutual vulnerability, trust, and care. When you create space for his hidden needs, you're also creating space for deeper love to flourish between you. If this insight has helped you understand more about the emotional needs of men and how to deepen your connection, don't forget to like this video and share it with anyone who could benefit from these tips. Also, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What resonates with you the most? And, of course, subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more valuable content like this. Keep nurturing those connections, and remember, true intimacy is a beautiful, mutual exchange of trust, love, and care. Until next time, may your intimate connections be blessed with understanding, patience, and the profound joy of being truly known and cherished.